two white crossed canes bisect an image. On the left are the Watts Towers in Los Angeles, and on the right, the Clapham Common Tube Station Clock Tower. The title, A Trail of Two Cities, is between the two crossed canes. This is a film of the presentation of a research and development project that took place on the 7th of October 2021 at UCL Pearl in Dagenham, London. I had the idea for A Trail of Two Cities 7 years ago when I was on a cultural exchange in Los Angeles, which was hosted for me by my friend and fellow blind artist of African descent, Lynn Manning. When I returned to the UK, I teamed up with my friend, director and filmmaker Terry Braun, who was born in Los Angeles himself. And together with his wife Gabby, who came on board as producer, we started building the project with Lynn. After some initial long-distance conversations, Lynn produced his first piece of writing for this project, and it laid down his personal trail through Los Angeles. However, very sadly, Lynn died in 2015. I had been turned down twice for funding by this time and wasn't sure how to continue the project with my main collaborator no longer here. However, I decided on a way to recalibrate the idea using what Lynn had already produced, plus archived material that I already had, and what I could find out on a planned research trip to Los Angeles. And after a further 3 more attempts for funding, I got lucky at last, and the research trip to Los Angeles took place. Here, Terry, Gabby and I filmed on locations that Lynn had identified, and we also met many of his friends and fellow artists. And through this, I found a way of solving my biggest problem, which was now how to represent Lynn on stage. A theatre company in LA called Drama Stage had cast an actor in their own play, which was about Lynn, and we asked them to scratch film their actor Gary for this project. We then began experimenting with all of these films and live performance at UCL's Pamela Research Laboratory in North London. But then the pandemic hit and halted progress on this project, and that was followed by ill health in the team, which meant that new team members had to be found. In the meantime, UCL closed Pamela and opened up their brand new research facility, Pearl. And after what seemed like a long journey, we were very fortunate to end up presenting the completion of this phase of work here at Pearl. Before we go any further, on screen during this introduction, a handheld camera has been panning across a car park, taking in a vast rectangular building clad in black corrugated sheeting, with bronze rusty steel panels running down the bottom 2/3 and glass frontage showing in between. The camera then travelled along a grass-green curved path towards the front of the building to take in more of this impressive structure that is surrounded by some grass and a few trees dancing in the windy sunshine with blue skies behind. The camera tracked across to the huge horizontal letters UCL cut out of the rust metal on the front of the building, and then up to huge letters in white spelling out the word Pearl that run vertically down by the big black entrance doors, which are poised now, just about to open.
Hello and welcome. You have arrived in the reception space at Pearl, the Person Environment Activity Research Laboratories. This room is 7.5 meters by 10 meters, and is made of solid pale pine wood on 3 of the 4 walls. The floor is light grey in color, with your back to the automatic glass entrance doors that you arrived through. Directly on your left is a seating area with white rectangular table, stools and chairs. The wall on the left is made up of floor-to-ceiling glass panels, rising 2 stories high with metal beams at intervals. Corresponding beaten metal panels run down outside the building, at the same intervals, with each of these exterior panels having abstract shapes representing birds cut into them. Inside this room, at the top left corner is a staircase that curves up to a mezzanine level above, with wooden connected seats fanning out from it. Next to the staircase is a flat screen built into the wall with some stools underneath. Further along the wall from here is a reception station, made from the same pale pine wood, with a window and counter on which is a simple tactile map of the building. Above this, black letter pick out the word welcome. Making up the third wall of this room on the right is a glass partition that can create flexible areas within this space. Just in front of this to your right is another seating area, with a round table, several chairs and some green plants and grey planters. Now note, to your immediate right of the automatic doors, is a corridor with a kitchen on the left. Hanging from the ceiling here is a black sign with white lettering showing the way ahead to the lifts and various other spaces. You are about to move down this corridor, go through a small lobby with bright yellow walls, and enter another part of the building. It will be of a similar size to this one, with the same pine paneling, but is completely empty, apart from a large glass cube in the center of the room. You are starting to feel intrigued.
Thank you for coming, everyone. Please follow me. My name is Eugene, and I'll take you to the main stage.
The gathered, diverse audience begin to follow the young black man who has made the announcement down a wide corridor and through doors at the end marked with yellow edging.
Having passed through into this new area from the yellow lobby, you are now turning left and are moving down the length of the space, which is 100 meters long. The width at this end is 20 meters wide. It is 14.5 meters from floor to ceiling, with lights set at 8 meters from the floor. All the walls are black. A raised platform to your right stands 0.9 meters high and is one of 3 similar platforms contained in this space, varying in size with the largest ahead of you at the far end. You are feeling awed by the size of the space, fascinated by the fact that the sound in here doesn't echo, and wondering how much this place cost to build. You feel dwarfed, ever so slightly alienated, and perhaps just a little excited. Facing you is one of the 3 platforms in here. This one is a rectangle of 14.4 meters by 8.4 meters, with a shorter side towards you. This bare plain area is closed off on 3 sides with black curtains. Upstage center, 2 white screens, 4 meters wide by 2 meters high, meet at their farthest end, and stand open like a book. On these screens is a projection of the Wart Towers and Clapham Common Clock Tower, bisected by 2 crossed white canes. A third narrower screen, 2 meters in height and 1 meter wide, is suspended downstage. Right. This screen is blank. The stage floor is made up of simulated paving modules or slabs. Above this platform is one of several lighting rigs in this space. This one has 7 rows of 42 LED fixtures, each fixture containing 10 clusters of LED chips which provide light at 11 different wavelengths.
Is everybody here yet?
No. Updating, yes.
Oh, honestly, technology. Hi! Hello! Have you described the space to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, and what about me?
No.
No? Okay, go ahead while I just check this speaker over here.
Maria is a mixed heritage woman of color and she is holding a clicker device. She is 5 foot 7 inches in height, with a medium build and braided brown hair.
Actually, my hair is loose and curly at the moment, and you're going to describe what I'm wearing, which is a pair of terracotta corduroy dungarees, okay?
Updating.
Don't worry about that. Everyone's here. Let's just get on with it now, okay? Call Lynn Manning, yeah? Great, thank you. Hello, everyone. So, welcome to A Trail of 2 Cities and a tale of 2 artists. One from LA and one from London, and we're going to tell our stories here and do a bit of a retrospective for you. But unfortunately, because of modest budgets and clashing schedules, we can't actually both be here at the same time. But due to the wonders of modern technology and creating a live link up for you, we will be able to be here in the same room, kind of, sort of. How amazing is that? Is he answering?
No.
Right, okay. Well, anyway, my name is Maria Oshodi, and I was born here in London. I've lived here all my life, and yeah, I've worked in the arts for a while now. Initially, I guess, writing plays for theatre that were toured and that were produced and published, and then, well, then I kind of stopped. But then I did direct and produce theatre for quite a while, and now I've teamed up with Lynn Manning, who has lived for most of his life in LA, is a poet and a Paralympic silver medalist. Is he answering? Where is he?
Would you like to redial?
Yeah, can you do that, please? Try again, thanks. Anyway, yeah, like I say, he has produced...
Reconnecting.
Thank you. Numerous plays, upwards about, I don't know, maybe a dozen. And they've all gained him critical acclaim, including 2 Dramalogue Critics Awards. And his most acclaimed work to date, which is called Weights, won him an NAACP Theatre Award.
I'm here, ready.
What?
We've received this message from Lynn in Los Angeles.
Well, why isn't he picking up then?
Maybe he needs to turn his speaker on, or switch to international mode.
Oh, honestly, but what about the instructions that we sent him in that test that we did as well, you know, earlier with him?
Hello?
Lynn! Can you hear us?
Yeah, I could hear you before.
Oh! All we could hear was the ringing tone.
There is no image.
What?
Yeah, I could hear you. And I just wanted to correct you on that one point you were making there.
Oh, what's that?
It was, in fact, 3 NAACP Theatre Awards I got for Weights,
Oh, okay, cool.
including Best Actor in 2001.
Great. Why haven't we got an image?
Camera not activated on the Los Angeles side.
Oh,
It
God.
also earned me a Teapot Award for Excellence in Theatre from the Edinburgh Critics Review in 2008.
Right, okay, great. Lynn, we haven't got an image. Samantha, can you check? Have we got full connection on the LA side?
No, the London images are not yet activated in Los Angeles.
Lynn, can you make sure your camera's turned on at your end, please?
Lynn Manning is now on screen, an African-American male in his late 50s, athletic build, wearing a dark suit, dark glasses and cloth cap.
Fantastic. Welcome, Lynn. It's an honour to have you here.
Hello.
Hi. So I was just giving a few details to the audience about us while we got all the technicalities sorted out.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So, where to begin then? LA or London?
And you told them where we met?
No. I guess we should begin in Zagreb then.
This is the end of the opening of the trial of 2 cities. We will now jump forward to the next session. Thank you.
So, what is this all about then?
What's it about? Well, I guess it's to tell the story, isn't it, of that trip.
So, what is it about LA?
LA?
Well, something happened for you that trip. I mean, isn't that why you brought us here to tell that story?
Yeah, I guess so, but I don't kind of fully know what it is. I thought we might kind of work it out together.
Right. Well, it was cool for me.
Yeah?
I mean, what about you? I mean, did LA meet your expectations?
My expectations? Well, yeah, I guess it was kind of how I imagined.
What did you imagine?
What did I imagine? I don't know, I suppose, guess what I could see? I knew LA through film and television. You know, that big Hollywood sign on the mountainside, or fabulous houses with great big swimming pools, or stars stepping from sleek vehicles to be snapped by the paparazzi outside the Chinese cinema.
On the stage right LA screen, tourist images of Los Angeles appear.
Yeah, I had the same thing about London from what I could see.
Yeah?
You know, those old Sherlock Holmes movies, and the fog misting up that old Big Ben clock tower, and the red buses and the black taxis driving by.
Yeah, but you know
On the
what?
stage left London screen, tourist images of London appear.
And I remember that I would meet you, I think, on the purple line, where it intersected with the red line. And I think that was around sunset in Normandy. And when you took me down to the Watts Village Theatre Company offices in downtown LA, or to see that play in Cali Plaza on Rodney King, or to that Mexican restaurant in Alvera Street, or even that time when we went to the blind school in Baldwin Hills. And when you hitched a ride for us out to Orange County, or Westwood, or Santa Monica, all the time you would be unfurling your kind of internal map, tracing routes with your mind's white cane, all the time, leading the way for us.
The LA screen shows an interior from a car, driving past buildings, then cut to night and a few lights through the dark car window.
Cross mountain, there'll be like a restaurant bar thing on the right, but then we pass a little building and then there's another restaurant bar before we get to the next corner.
These accessible navigation tools are really something these days.
Thank you.
The technology is just an approximation, though, isn't it?
Have you read Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus by Ludwig Wittgenstein?
Maria looks puzzled.
I still have my visual memory.
Your visual memory, yeah. But from what I remember, that's not really that up to date, is it?
You must be referring to that time that we were standing on that downtown city corner by the new Korea Tower there on Motion to 7th and 3 Road.
Exactly. I remember, and you were so confident. You were pointing somewhere out, and trying to navigate us by it, and it just was no longer there. Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to get something different here.
What?
It's like being in relationship with something that once was. It kind of feels a bit like, I don't know, a ghost trapped in time.
Okay.
Why don't you just pick a place?
What place?
I don't know, like anywhere in LA, as long as it means something to you and you remember seeing it and being there.
Sure.
Yeah? Yeah, you're up for this, okay. Sam, Dan, stand by.
Configuring Los Angeles.
Configuring London.
Great, let's see what remains of our remembered cities, yeah?
And our remembered selves.
Good. Come on, you start.
I'll be right behind you, following my own trail through London.
Central Avenue. It's between Washington Boulevard and Adams Boulevard.
On the LA screen, camera follows a brick wall on the right with a road on the left, litter strewn on the ground, a stop sign in the distance, and graffiti on building walls.
Maria re-enters and sits in a chair at the downstage edge of the left-hand screen and picks up a mic.
Lynn's image brightens on the narrow screen where he sits in a chair holding a mic.
I spent the first 9 3/4 years of my life in that poor 1 square mile section of South Central Los Angeles. More things change and more they stay the same.
On the left-hand screen, day, exterior.
Our area just about had a name, as it was just about in Clapham, just about. Though it could have been just about in Brixton, Streatham or Balham, so is it equidistant from all of these South London village centres.
Brixton, Clapham and Streatham station signs. Anonymous South London streets. A small park and row of derelict shops.
The backside locale was known as Clapham Park, although there was no real park there to speak of, apart from a tiny one with an entirely different name.
A sign, reading, Field of Hope.
Yeah, but I kind of think, what is the point? If, things don't exist out there as we knew them, I mean, we can't really be sure of anything, can we?
You can be sure you're in a landscape. That's what you need to access. So, what about this place you described?
What, that Dickensian dumping block? Oh, it's a place there where my mum and me, we kind of ended up when we got out of Nigeria. But I really don't want to go there. I don't want to touch on that. I just don't want to go there.
Come on, it was your idea. We gotta get this portrait motion going on somehow.
Oh, but let's just try and go somewhere else, yeah?
Sure,
Okay, all right.
whatever you want.
Go on then. You go.
I'm going south of Central Avenue, passing by what used to be the Lincoln Theater, a small theater turned to church. The neighborhood's brown now, though, not black like back when my mom took me to the Lincoln Theater to be terrified about the first movie I saw, the first color movie. It was The Blonde, starring Steve McQueen.
On the LA screen, day, exterior, a rectangular sandstone building with Eastern religious patterns with a line of pink reflective windows.
On the London screen, day, exterior, a carpetland shop has been integrated into an old cinema building.
Well, living between the Classic in Brixton and the Odeon and the ABC in Streatham, as a teenager, I went to see John Carpenter's The Thing.
A red jelly-like blob rapidly rises. The cinema projectionist looks over his shoulder. The blob attacks and smothers him. Meanwhile, the cinema audience laugh at the film. Suddenly their faces change from laughter to bewilderment. The screen has gone blank. The blob uses through a window.
This raging, erupting monster burst up and out and everywhere. It tore someone's head off, the head rolled on the floor, then the head grew long spider legs and started running around everywhere.
And then the images cut out. The sound ground to a halt, and the adventure was over. A groan went up from the kids, and as the minutes went by, the sounds of protest from them got louder and louder and louder until they just started to throw anything they had at the blank screen. Crisp bags, sweet cartons, drinks, cans, anything.
The images didn't ever start up again though. The screen had blanked out. Like a lid blinking tight shut. The visual stopped, broke down, ran out, never to return. No matter how much screaming and shouting went on.
What is going on?
Back then, there was a point on the track where I could see what I thought was the Empire State Building. And I fantasized that one day I'd go to New York City and see it in person. It turned out to be the downtown City Hall, Los Angeles. The world is a much bigger place now.
Lynn, can you hear me? Lynn! What is going on?
What's up?
Well, can't you hear? The technology's not doing what it's supposed to. It's not describing what's out there anymore.
There's nothing wrong with the technology.
Nothing wrong with the technology.
Credits and thanks. Writer and co-director Maria Oshodi, writer and featured artist Lynn Manning, actor Gary Robinson playing Lynn Manning, location filming and co-director Terry Braun, producer Gabby Braun, writing mentor Glenn Neath, editor Nick Sanderland, technical operator Corinne Claxton, project documentation, filming and photography Mary Harrell, and thanks to project partners Nick Tyler, director of London's Pamela and UCL Pearl, the Person, Environment, Activity and Research Laboratory, Arc Stockton hosting the artist's residency, Melvin Ishmael Johnson of Drama Stage Los Angeles for directing and filming Gary Robinson as Lynn Manning, and to Arts Council England for the Grants for the Arts programme.